Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on comparing fractions. We saw in an earlier video how easy it was to compare two fractions using the above interval on the number line. If you remember, the interval we used was from 0 to 1. Just by looking at the number line, we can pick the larger one. The larger one lies to the right of the smaller one. So for example, let's say we have that fraction there and this fraction here. Now this is purely visual. We're finding the answer just by looking, by observing. We can see that this fraction is larger than this one because it lies to the right. So all these fractions have been placed in the correct order. They're all drawn to scale. 5 over 6, you can see, is to the right of 2 over 3, so 5 over 6 is larger. Now what happens if we don't have a number line? Okay, well let's see what happens. If we don't have a number line and the fractions have the same denominator, so that's important. If we don't have a number line, let's start with fractions that have the same denominator. The larger one is the one with the bigger numerator. Okay, so the larger one has the bigger numerator. Let's look at two examples. 4 over 5 is larger than 2 over 5 because it has the larger numerator. That is, 4 is larger than 2, so 4 over 5 is larger than 2 over 5. 2 over 7 is smaller than 5 over 7 because it has the smaller numerator. 2 is smaller than 5. So 2 over 7 is smaller than 5 over 7. The next one. Place the following fractions in ascending order. Answer. To find the answer, just place the fractions in order, starting with the smallest numerator and finishing with the largest. So of all of those fractions, that's the smallest numerator, so 2 over 11 is first. That one is next, followed by this one, followed by that one. So we can do this quite easily because all of those have the same denominator. So we just focus on the numerator. Place the following fractions in descending order. These ones here. Answer. To find the answer, just place the fractions in order, starting with the largest numerator and finishing with the smallest. So they all have the same denominator, so just order them with respect to their numerators. So here we are, from largest to smallest, which is descending order. Now, what happens if we have different denominators? Now we need to pay attention here. Of course, this is a little bit tricky, but we can do it. If we have different denominators, we must make the denominators the same. That's very crucial. So the denominators have to be the same. If we do that, we just follow the above process. So once the denominators are the same, it becomes this easy. Let's look at two examples, or this example here, with two fractions. Which fraction is larger, 2/3 or 4/5? Now it's hard to tell because the denominators are different and we don't have a number line. This is what we do. The lowest number that 3 and 5 will divide into is 15. So the first thing you do is you look at the two denominators and you say, what is the lowest number that they both will divide into? 15 is the lowest number. So, what happens after that? Multiply the numerator and denominator of 2 over 3 by 5, and multiply the numerator and denominator of 4 over 5 by 3. Now, how did we work that out? Well, we've already worked out that the lowest number that 3 and 5 will divide into is 15. That's going to be our denominator. Well, how do we get 15 for this fraction here? Well, that's easy. Just multiply it by 5 over 5. Okay? 5 over 5. Because 5 threes are 15. How do we get 15 here? Multiply it by 3 over 3. Because 5 threes are 15. And that's what this last sentence means. So multiply the numerator and denominator of 2 over 3 by 5. And multiply the numerator and denominator of 4 over 5 by 3. So we continue on. So 2 over 3 by 5 over 5 gives us 10 over 15. And 4 over 5 by 3 over 3 gives us 12 over 15. It is easy to see from the above that 12 over 15 is larger than 10 over 15. Hence, 4 over 5 is larger than 2 over 3. That's quite straightforward, isn't it? So that's the answer. 4 over 5 is larger than 2 over 3 because 4 over 5 is 12 over 15 and 2 over 3 is 10 over 15. Place the following fractions in ascending order. Ascending order. Okay, now ascending order means they go from left to right, from lowest to highest. To make all the denominators the same, we need to find the lowest common multiple of 2, 3 and 5. So what that means is, what's the lowest number that 2, 3 and 5 will divide into? The lowest common multiple of 2, 3 and 5 is 30. Now we saw lowest common multiple in a previous video. That's why we should know that the lowest common multiple of 2, 3 and 5 is 30. So, the lowest common multiple is the denominator we need. It is 30, so that's the denominator we're looking for. Now how do we change 2 over 5 so that 2 over 5 has a denominator of 30? Well, you have to multiply this 5 by 6. So you multiply top and bottom 6 over 6. If you do that, that keeps the value the same. So multiply the top and bottom by 6 over 6. That gives us 12 over 30. How do we make this denominator 30? Well, you have to multiply it by 10. So 10 over 10. So that gives us 20 over 30. How do we make this denominator 30? You have to multiply it by 15 over 15. That gives us 15 over 30. So, the ascending order is 2/5, a half, and 2/3. Okay? Because you can see the 2/5 is the smaller one. The next one is a half because that's 15 over 30. And the larger one is 20 over 30, which is the 2/3. So this video has introduced us to the very interesting topic of comparing fractions. If we use a number line, we just do it visually. If we don't have a number line and the denominators are different, we have to make them the same by finding the lowest common multiple of the denominators that we have. And then we do the calculation as we saw in this example. That makes all the denominators the same. And then it's easy to order the fractions.